Hey guys, this will be the first video that you will have to watch from this series, as I will be on the Year 7 camp. We are up to lesson 7 from chapter 3. At any point you can ask your teacher to pause the video if you want to get the notes down. Alternatively, you can watch this on your own if you have headphones. And you can watch it on your own device, so you can go at your own pace. Lesson 7 looks at exercise 3H, and we're transposing formulas. To transpose just means rearrange to make something the subject of interest. Okay, so sometimes we wish to find the value of a variable, also called the pronumeral or letter, that is not the subject of the formula itself. We thus rearrange the formula to make another variable the subject. This is what we call transposing the formula. Okay. I like to think of it as making what we wish to be the subject be equal to something else. Okay, and just that letter on its own be equal to something else. And you'll see this. We can rearrange this in the example that we have in A. And using that answer for B. Okay, the need to transform formulas is not as important nowadays with the use of a CAS calculator, because the solve function can do this. Nevertheless, it is a useful skill to be able to do this. Okay, essentially, we're no longer solving for x per se, but solving for another variable in the equation. The normal rules, however, they still apply when transposing. Okay, scroll this down. Okay, so we want to be able to transpose the formula f is equal to 9 over 5c plus 32, and we want to make c the subject itself. And when we say c the subject, we want to rearrange this so we can have a line that says c equals yada yada yada. Okay, so with the first one, we're going to write out the actual formula itself, or the equation rather. F is equal to 9 over 5c plus 32. Now, as you can see, no pun intended, but as you can see, the c on the right hand side has a 9 over 5 attached to it, and then a plus 32. The first thing we want to do is get rid of that plus 32, so we're going to apply the inverse operation of plus 32, which is take away 32. And then whatever we do on the right hand side, we're also going to do on the left. Okay? When we do that, our next line over here, our next line f minus 32 is from that previous minus 32 here. And the 9 over 5c will just be by itself, because the plus 32 minus 32 cancel out. Okay, we're trying to get c by itself. Now the next step, it's a bit of a tricky one, because we have a 9 over 5 attached to that c. Whenever we have a fraction that's attached to it, we always multiply by what's on the bottom of the fraction, the denominator. In this case, we're going to multiply it by 5 on the right hand side, and then again do it on the left hand side. So we'll multiply it by 5 here and multiply it by 5 here. Okay, that way we can just have 9c by itself. And when we multiply the left hand side by 5, you notice that it's multiplying everything here by 5. Okay, we can't just write f minus 32 and then times 5 next to it. So we've got to ensure that we put these brackets around and then put the 5 in the front. Remember, this just means 5 times bracket f minus 32. Okay, next step, we have a 9 times c attached to it, so opposite of times 9 is divide by 9. Again, we do it to the left hand side. And what you should end up with is c is equal to 5, open bracket, f minus 32, close bracket, divided by 9. Okay. Now, saying 1 plus 2 equals 3 is the same as saying 3 equals 1 plus 2. The way that this has been written, no matter what side it is, it's still going to be correct if I just swap it around. So we can write, therefore, C is equal to 5, open bracket, F minus 32, close bracket, of 9. It's pretty much the same as the previous line, but it's just swapped around. Okay, so this is what we mean by transposing the actual formula itself. We want to make C the subject, still apply the inverse operations, and now we've got C as the object. Okay, now scroll back up. Question B says that we want to be able to use the rearrange formula, which we just got there. We've got the answer here. We want to use the rearrange formula to calculate the value of C when F is equal to 212. This is just a straightforward substitution process where anywhere we see the letter F, we're going to substitute it with the number 212. Okay, so here we see F, we're going to substitute it with 212, which we've done in this line here. And you can go ahead and work that out manually, or you can use the calculator. Once you get that, we get a C value of 100. And that is it for that example, and the only example for 3H. Go ahead and check your log sheet to see what questions you need to do for 3H. And you'll be spending this lesson making sure that those questions and other questions from previous exercises are completed. Cool.